to today?
Oh, well, as Deputy City Clerk for the City of St. Louis Park, I have a pretty busy day today.
Can you tell us a little bit about your job and then answer a few questions about City Council?
Sure, I'd love to. So my job is really interesting. I have a lot of unique duties, including domestic partnership registrations, liquor licensing, and a lot to do with City Council and also records keeping.
Cool. So speaking of City Council, we got a bunch of great questions from some of our social media posts and we responded to a few of them. What did you notice about the questions that we got?
Ooh, I love this question. So I noticed they all had a lot in common, even though they might have seemed to be on different topics. So it was everything from basketball courts to roads, but frankly, it all relates to City Council. Cool thing about our city government is we have a city manager council form of government. So that means that the council makes policy decisions and the city manager works with staff for like day-to-day administration to get those policies in action. So all the questions, thanks for them. We provided some answers, but they all related to City Council direction.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you had some folks come to City Hall and ask some questions in person. What did you talk about with them?
Oh, that was so much fun. When people came to talk, they explained that maybe they were new to City Council, didn't know much about coming to meetings, things like that. So we ended up talking about how meetings flow, using the Sturgis rules of parliamentary procedure, what to expect in a meeting, public comments, even how agendas are created. It was really fun to get to know folks and help them understand the process.
Wasn't your hair pink in the last video?
Yes, it was. I get bored with my hair really fast.
Fair enough.
Thanks.
So who is my council member?
Ooh, I actually get this question a ton. You can look it up on our city website. So that's www.stlouisparkmn.gov. And going on that website, you can do a couple different things. You could use the word finder, like the word map, to see who represents you, as well as their email and phone number. And I should say a little bit too about who represents everyone. We have 2 at-large council members, and the mayor is considered an at-large representative of the whole community as well.
Interesting. What happens at City Council meetings?
Oh my gosh, so much. Like I said, we follow the standard code of parliamentary procedure for our agenda and our order. So that means the council makes policy decisions, we might vote. That would be at a regular council meeting. We also have study sessions where they don't vote. They're making discussions and conversation that will help inform votes later. So there's 2 types of meetings, just depends on the meeting type.
Okay. Is it normal for residents to talk at City Council meetings?
Yes, at those regular meetings, it is normal. Any member of the public can comment on any item on the agenda at a regular meeting. You just have to show up, fill out comment cards, you can make your comment that way. At study sessions, where we have discussions and written reports, it's not typically common for residents to make comment.
Okay. So if I have a question but I don't want to share it at a meeting, what should I do?
Oh, sure. A lot of people, public speaking is not their jam. You can always email staff or council members to send in your question that way, or call. And sometimes if you have a question or a comment, staff can help you handle it right then and there.
So if I have a specific question, should I come to a council meeting?
Ooh, that's a great question. You sure can. If it's not on the agenda, like related to the agenda though, that might not be the best place to make a comment for it. However, city staff can always help you try to get the right person for your answer if you come to a meeting. We'd be happy to meet you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this question is a 3-parter.
Ooh.
When do council agendas come out and how do I find them? And will they reflect what's going on at the next meeting and when and where it is?
Yes to everything. So, okay, I know this by heart because the city clerk's office is in charge of the agenda. So we create them and publish them by noon on Friday on our city website. And that's going to reflect the content of the meeting, the reports that go into that meeting type, and you can find that on our city website. There's also an archive, so you can see past meetings as well. Yep, the when and where is right there on the agenda too. Cool, we got it.
So it sounds like agendas take a while to prepare. What's on your focus playlist while you're editing?
I love K-pop. I'm obsessed with K-pop.
What's the deal with meeting minutes?
Ooh, meeting minutes are our city's official record. So they go back from 1955. You can go back and see the spirit of conversation and the content of meetings all the way back to when we first became a city. It's really to see how meetings flow as well.
Interesting. My organization wants to do something cool, like a fundraiser or event. Should we get council involved?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. However, also think about the things that might involve a permit or license, like maybe mobile food trucks, temporary liquor, things like that. Generally involve a city process as well. And they can take a little time. So I would say as soon as you know about your event, let us know so that we can get the city to help you out with all the planning parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I find out about city projects happening in my neighborhood?
Ooh, that's a really great question because there are so many. Might be like a community development website check, might be an engineering website check. I also really love just checking my mail as a resident. Get a lot of great information through the mail. Have you noticed too they have QR codes up at construction sites where you can learn more about the events that way? It's a great way to stay in touch.
Great to know. So it sounds like city staff stays pretty busy. Do most people seem to prefer coffee or energy drinks around here?
I can't speak for everyone else. I've seen folks do a little bit of both, but I can say I am a 3-cup-a-day coffee drinker minimum. Like that's my whole personality.
Fair. If I'd like to get more involved than just attending or watching meetings, what are my options?
You do have lots of options. First of all, thank you for attending. Thank you for watching meetings. There's also a lot of advisory board work that's available. Our Vision 4.0 process is just kicking off for the city. So please check that out on our city's website. Sorry to mention that so many times. There's things like the Charter Commission, boards and commissions, open seats, and volunteer activities too. Maybe you've got a weekend free. Maybe you're interested in helping out in, the parks or something like that. You can find it all on the city website.
If I'd like my kids to learn about civics, would a council meeting be interesting to them?
I think it would be. We've had a lot of youth participate in our various meeting types, maybe like scouting troops that come to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you can stick around and hear more about how government works by attending the meeting.
So what's the difference between a public hearing and the other items on the council's agenda?
Such a cool question. So public hearings are required in some cases by city ordinance. So a public hearing is a really specific type of item on the agenda. However, like we talked about, if you want to come to a meeting or submit a comment, you can comment on anything that's on the agenda.
How do you know so much about city council?
I promise it did not come as second nature. I did a lot of learning. So things that I did to kind of catch up and create some knowledge about meetings was watching meetings, reading meeting minutes, kind of seeing how they flow, and getting an understanding of how the parliamentary procedure allows everyone to get a chance to talk during a meeting.
Nice. Okay, so this has been a lot of information. I'm a little overwhelmed. Now what do I do?
Don't worry, I will not give you a pop quiz. If you want to call me or ask me any questions about council in general, I am really happy to help with that. You can also just call our city hall, and I know we'll pop the number in here for you. They'll help connect you with staff that can help answer any questions that you might have about city government.
Perfect. So in your opinion, what's the best part of working at City Hall?
Oh, I really just enjoy helping people. So being in the right place to help my community and be real with people, share my knowledge, help connect them with resources, makes me really happy. It's a unique situation where you get to help in a community and make a difference every day.
Love that. Okay, we need one more question to get to 20. Do you prefer cats or dogs?
Both. I have 2 dogs, and that reminds me, you can license your dog here at City Hall if it's your first time, or you can do a renewal for that dog license. Guess where? Sorry, last time I'll say it, on our city website. I like them both though.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for answering our questions, Amanda.
Yeah, thanks for coming with today.